All right. Hi, my name is Jana Shaps, and I'm an employee at Chic Shoes. Throughout this presentation, you will hear from Skylar, Dwight, Crystal, and myself on our business performance over the past 5 weeks. Skylar will start by describing Chic Shoes' business strategies.
The business strategy we will observe will be for internet marketing, wholesale marketing, and private label operations in 4 different regions. The original strategy that we agreed upon to use was the focus differentiation strategy, and we used this for the internet marketing and wholesale marketing, and used it in North America, Europe, Africa, Asia Pacific, and in the Latin America regions. Our strategy for the private label operation was to use the lowest price at minimum requirements. This strategy was also used in all 4 regions, although we did not participate in the private label operations in North America and Europe, Africa regions in some years because of the low margins. In the next slide, we will see that our strategies changed from the focus differentiation strategy to the broad differentiation strategy for the internet marketing and for wholesale marketing in North America, Europe, Africa, Asia Pacific, and Latin America regions. For our strategy for the private label operation, we still used. We used the lowest price at minimum requirements. This strategy has stayed the same and was used in all 4 regions as well. Michael Porter mentioned that competitive strategy is about being deliberately different to create a blend that would be perceived as having a value. For our competitive strategy, we decided to pursue a focused differentiation strategy, as this is one of the generic competitive strategy options in our study. This meant providing a product that was high in quality with features that were unique and producing it in limited amounts. We wanted to provide a unique product to customers, and we collectively agreed that this was the most appealing value proposition. From the practice runs, we also saw that the other companies were mostly providing just an above average product, and that they were mostly positioned in the same location of product segmentation. Since we had success in the first 2 practice rounds, we thought this would be the best strategy to use. We also decided that we would apply the same SQ rating across all 4 different regions. Next, we will have Crystal talking how strategies differentiate from our competitors.
Okay, so based on the BSG data, other companies have mostly gone with a low-cost approach, with 1 or 2 companies going with a higher quality approach. All companies have provided a higher number of styles and models, almost close to 500. All of these companies have applied their strategies across different regions. We, however, have used different strategies that are tailored to each specific region. For example, in the North American region, we used high quality and a high price approach. In the Asian Pacific and Latin American regions, we used a low quality strategy but did not reduce prices by much. For the Europe Africa region, because shoes were being shipped from North America and Asia Pacific, it had a mixture of SQ ratings, which was between North America's ratings, which was a SQ rating of 6, and Asia Pacific's rating of 3.4. On the next slide, in the graph shown on the slides here, we see the following. For the internet and wholesale segment in the North American region, Chic Shoes is uniquely segmented in the North American region through our SQ rating and pricing. Although Group A provided a higher rating, Chic Shoes has invested more in brand advertising, and we priced ourselves differently than Group A. For the Europe African region, we initially had a high quality strategy. However, over the last 5 years, we found it more effective to lower the quality and invest more in brand and internet advertising. In the Asian, Pacific, and Latin American regions, we initially had a strategy. However, over the last 5 years, we found it more effective to significantly lower the quality and invest more in brand and internet advertising. We found that lowering the SQ rating while increasing investments in advertising and branding resulted in more sales. Because costs were lower with the lower SQ rating and lower labor costs, our margins were better in the Asia Pacific and Latin American regions. Next will be Dwight reviewing our company's performance over the last 5 years.
Thank you, Crystal. So in the next few slides, I'll be discussing the company's performance over the 6 years and how we compared to the competition. The next two slides, slides 7 and slides 8, provide information on the measurements of the competition, which are stock price, earnings per share, return on equity, image, social responsibility, and credit rating. For year 11, we did really well. And, we met all of our investor expectations. Our earnings per share was $2.80. Return on equity was 23.1%, and our stock price was close to $51 per share. We placed second as compared to our competitors for year 11. For year 12, in our second year, our earnings per share decreased to $1.88. Our stock price also went down to $20.87, and our return on equity was down to 12.2%. Although we were still profitable, we did not meet our investor expectations. We also placed fifth during the year and third overall on the game-to-date scoreboard. We attribute this mainly to relying on the BSG competition assumptions and not anticipating what the competition would make, which were significant changes in this round. We based the statement on the forecasting variance. We had the highest variance at negative 26.9%. It was during this round that our competitors made significant changes in terms of their SQ rating and in brand and internet advertising. We believe that the major investments in the brand and internet advertising by our competitors positively impacted their sales and negatively impacted ours. And then for year 13, our earnings per share dropped even lower to $1.60. Return on equity dropped also lower to 9.3%, and our stock price plummeted to $10.13. We again did not meet the investor expectations. The competition was fierce during this year. We placed last for the year and dropped down to fourth on the game-to-date scoreboard with an overall score of 67. For year 14, we started to improve as we placed fourth for the year and stayed in fourth for the game-to-date scoreboard. However, because their profit margins were low, we still did not meet the investor expectations. Our earnings per share decreased from $1.21, and our return on equity decreased to 6.7%. On a positive note, however, our stock price went up from $10.13 to $13.15. And then for year 15, we started to improve, as this was the year where we changed up our strategy. For year 15, we placed third in the year, and we also moved up to third on the game-to-date scoreboard. We thought that year 15 was significant because we were one of the only two companies that improved their scores. The rest of the competition lost an average of about 21.5 points. Our earnings per share increased from $1.21 to $1.89, and our return on equity increased from 6.7% to 10.3%. Lastly, our stock price increased from $13.15 to $15.11. And lastly, for year 16, for our final year, we dropped back to fourth for the year and also ended the game in the fourth place. Although we dropped down in ranking, our numbers continued to increase, with our earnings per share increasing from $1.89 to $2.39. Our return on equity increased from 10.3% to 11.8%. However, our stock price did take a tumble as it went down to $12.34. And regarding our credit rating, image, and corporate responsibility, we note that throughout the 5 years, our credit rating didn't drop any lower than a B minus. Our image rating average was 77, and we won the Corporate Responsibility Award twice on years 15 and 16. For year 16, we had the highest image rating, and we continued to invest in corporate social responsibility programs while our competitors devoted less and less to increase their profits. In terms of Porter's triple bottom line, as in looking not just in profit, but also in people and the planet, we believe that we won in that regard. And now, Jana will now be discussing more detailed explanations on why we weren't able to meet some of our objectives, and also to talk about possible long-term strategies.
Be good if I unmuted. Thank you, Dwight. So in years 12 through 16, Chic Shoes did meet investor expectations for the first year, in year 12. Although we were profitable, Chic Shoes did not meet investor expectations for years 12 through 16. This can be attributed to a few things, but the one that stood out the most is our strategy was almost immediately met with strong competition from the other teams, and we started to lose steam. Additionally, we also didn't meet our investor expectations for years 12 through 16 because our profit margins weren't significant enough. We paid off our loans instead of leveraging that debt, and we didn't buy back enough stocks. So for the next 5 years, we have some business strategies that we will implement. First, we will lower our costs by producing more shoes in Latin America and Asia Pacific region and less in North American region. Lower costs by divesting the Europe Africa facilities, lower costs by slightly decreasing social responsibility contributions, and buy back half of the outstanding stocks. That's it from Chic Shoes. That concludes our presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.